One step up and two steps back. If you caught any of my previous episodes, you'll know that I have the old F250, and I've been dabbling in getting that roadworthy again. I got that truck with the idea to one of two things. Of course, I had a business at the time, it was going well, and it wasn't that big a deal if it took a while or not. So part of me was like, well, I can still use it. I don't currently have a pickup, so it'd be nice to have a truck just for hauling things and pulling the trailer around and whatnot. When I was in my teens, and actually even going back further than that, when I was about 8, my dad got an old 63 unibody short bed F100. And I inherited that when I was a teenager, and I tore around on that thing in Southern Cal. Had a 390 big block in it with I believe it was factory blown, at least that's what I was told. Had factory headers, had a 750 Carter on it. Thing really went, actually. It got away from me one time when I was really mad. Don't drive when you're a teenager and you're mad, and I put it into somebody's house. Didn't even break a headlight on that truck. That's another story. So I really kind of had hoped to maybe keep it, but it had some issues that I wasn't unaware of, and I didn't look that deeply into it, as these things often go. So the body had a lot of more issues than I wanted to get into. I got it for a pretty good price, so part of me wanted to get rid of it, maybe flip it, and make a little bit of a profit on it. At this point, I have already rebuilt the transmission and put that back in. I had some issues, as I think I showed previously, with the heater core nipple on the top of the manifold for the cooling system. But I did find a replacement for that, and I did get the transmission all hooked up and put back in it. I had starter issues. I had what I thought were fuel delivery issues. So here's the fuel line. Got it disconnected. I'm going to try and test the fuel pump. We're going to crank it and see if fuel's coming out. All right. Okay. Obviously got plenty of fuel pumping. So we'll try and arc the coil and see if we've got spark there. All right, turn it over. Okay. Yeah, it's sparking. All right, we're gonna test number 1 cylinder and see if it's sparking. We got spark through the distributor because I did have some corrosion in the cap. All right, go ahead. Hold up. So we did clean the cap. Maybe that excited something or got some stuff firing. All right, we're gonna hook everything back up, see if it'll crank up. Go ahead. What I found, I believe I may have not gotten the torque converter pushed all the way into the transmission on the spline gear. And when I started it, I could hear something randomly hitting, scraping, rubbing as it was going around. And the only thing I've really changed is that transmission. At this point, I gotta start unbuttoning it. I've gotta move it back out far enough. Hopefully I can get all that positioned without removing the transmission completely, and then button it back up, and hopefully that will put me back where I need to be. I gotta dive back into that today and start scratching away at that issue. So it looks like once I moved that tranny just a little bit, I didn't have to take it all the way out in order to
move the torque converter or make sure the torque converter was all the way in place. I'm not positive in the process of getting it out if that was the problem, but I know I've got it in the right place at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and match it back up, get it hooked up again, and we'll see if that fixes that issue and if it's roadworthy at that point. Next week, I'm just gonna be putting that all back together, hopefully taking it for a spin. I did go ahead and fasten the little bracket onto the kickstand. That's ready to go, bike's ready to be listed. I might take it for one more spin tomorrow morning since it is Saturday and the local car gathering is tomorrow morning. So I might just get a few more minutes out of it. We'll dive into all that next week. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.